This multiple choice question pertains to the nature of taxation. Question is, while the power of taxation is inherent and broad, which statement best captures its fundamental nature as an act of the state that justifies the constant evolution and amendment of tax laws? A. Taxation is a power that is broad and comprehensive, covering all persons and property. Yes, that is true. But what we are looking in here is the fundamental nature as an act of the state that justifies the constant evolution and amendment of tax laws. So this one is, I think it's describing about the scope. Letter B, taxation is essentially a legislative power. Therefore, the authority to determine subjects, objects, and tax rates, to reform them, lies exclusively in the law-making body. This one is demonstrating the exclusive power, tax power exercise. Okay, the exclusiveness, power to exercise by the legislative body. So they're the one has the authority to make laws according to their will, which is aligned, should be aligned with some constitutional limitations and other principles. Okay, so therefore they can make some amendments, or like they can change the way they enact the tax law, but again within the bounds and limitations of the Constitution and the inherent limitations. Letter C. Taxation is an awesome power that could destroy, allowing the state to burden property to point of confiscation is necessary. While this is true without the limitation, but this does not connect or relate to this point of justification, the constant evolution of the tax laws. Letter D. Taxation is an inherent power of the state that exists independently of the Constitution and requires no legislation to be exercised. So this one is telling us the inherent power in nature, that it needs no constitution. But again, in using that to justify the constant evolution and amendment, it does not make sense. So the answer is letter B, because the justification can happen only, the constant evolution and amendment can happen only within the exclusive power of the legislative. They have all the power to make changes in the future, because the taxation, the needs for the taxation is changing also. So they are allowed, or they have the prerogative to make future amendments. In addition, with all the options describe aspects of taxation, like it is broad, like it is inherent and very powerful as to destroy, the specific act of tax reform underscores the nature of taxation as legislative power. When we talk about tax reform, so only the legislature has the discretion to determine the extent, that's what we know, and the object and the method of how to collect tax, which is why tax laws change over time through legislative enactments. So as I said, that it depends upon the needs of the public as to the expenditures. So the taxation, the revenues to raise also follows. Thank you.